Welcome back, guys. In this video I'll show you how to control snare ring. When we recorded the snare samples for Trondheim audio devices, we didn't want to muffle the snare, so I came up with this little EQ trick to handle the length of the snare ring. Okay, so when the snare rings too much, it could be a problem. Of course, you can muffle the snare as much as you want, but you're eventually killing the snare. So if you don't want to use too much muffling and have the snare come alive, when I sampled the snares for Trondheim audio devices sample packs, I didn't muffle the snare at all, but I needed to control the length of the ring and the velocity of the ring. However, I didn't want to notch it all out, so I made this technique to have total control over the snare ring. Let's listen to this snare. Keep in mind that I've already done this to some degree on these snare samples, but there are still some ring left. So that's the frequency where the ring is at. You could sweep around to find the exact frequency, but I like to use FabFilter Pro Q to handle the task. If you watch the frequency analyzer, it's easy to identify the frequency. Just look for the notes with the longest sustain. Look at 494 Hz here. You can see that it's high velocity and it has a long sustain. Of course, you can just notch it out. But you're losing information on the whole duration of the snare hit. So what I do to handle it is that I set Pro Q to work in dynamic mode. This way you get the full frequency range on the initial hit. To control the length of the ringing, you need to push this auto button. And watch this. This way you can control the length of the ringing notes. Okay, so one more time from the top. You need to identify the notes. Turn the Q all the way up. Turn the gain down. Make it dynamic to raise it up. And control the length. This way you get a much more open snare sound and total control of the ring. You can do this on all the ringy frequencies on the snare. Okay, that's it, guys. I hope you liked the technique.